Hello, welcome to Adventures of a Time Traveler. I'm Trina, the Time Traveler, back for an amazing video. Today, I wanted to walk you through my first experience or encounter with a very beautiful, beautiful energy. And I helped assist him to move into his next stage of healing in the spirit. So, this energy, I'll call him KC, he was a young gentleman who I know and have connections with from a classmate of mine who I went to middle school with. And we grew apart, but I believe we, keep contact through social media. And I saw when his passing had occurred and everything, and it was a great tragedy. But just a little rewind, I was selling products during right prior to his passing, maybe a year or two prior to. I was creating like flower wreaths and stuff. I'm very artistic, so I always just create. And she purchased it. It was so great. I got a chance to go to her home, and she was at work, but her two daughters were there. They were like, one was a teenager, and then one was a little bit smaller. And I hung the flower wreath up in her home. It was really pretty. And so after Casey's passing, it was just so sad because he was close to the age of one of my children, a couple years ahead, but in the same range. And I just felt tremendous like sorrow for her, grief, and she just always spoke, just greatness of him, and just great pictures, and just showed how great of a mother she was to him. She had him when she was in high school, so she was a teen mom, but he never lacked. This baby had everything you can imagine, everything you could dream of. A beautiful child, very handsome young man. And my first encounter with him occurred after I started to come into my awakening last year and started to accept it. Really just accept it, like, okay, fuck it, this is what it is. So one day I had, I believe maybe the night prior to, this is when I was still on social media, and his mom had posted some pictures. His birthday was coming in a few weeks, and just saying how much she missed him and all of this kind of stuff. Posted some baby pictures. No, not yet. Excuse me. Let me back you back. And so the next morning, I'm at work and I'm working, and he comes to me and he starts a conversation. But he was so kind and cute, but he was really flirtatious, like on, I'm some cougar type shit. But I just like cracking up because I'm like, little boy. But nonetheless, he wanted to give a message to his mom. And I had never done anything like that, especially the way that I grew up. Like, my family, we don't talk about this kind of shit. It's several of my family members who, they kind of know this kind of shit, but they just don't do it. It's forbidden. But he kept bugging me. And I'm like, okay, so if I send your mom this message, will you let me work? He's like, cool. So I go ahead and send his mother the beautiful message. It was a message, something to the effect of, I spoke to her and said, hey, send her my condolences, but your son wanted me to give you a message, and he just wanted to let you know that he missed your cooking. He missed your food so much. He misses eating with you all the time. I guess he was a foodie, and that you feel him and you smell him around you a lot, but you just don't believe it, but it's really him. And so maybe a few hours later, she messaged me back and she was like, thank you very much for that, with the tears crying emoji. Like, I really needed that. So I'm like, okay. But he continued to follow along with me. During this time, I had went into hermit mode from most of the people in my life, and it became very quiet. So I would hear him, and he would be there, just hang out with me sometimes and shit like that. And one day, he came to me a few months later, and he was really sad. And I'm like, well, what's going on? Because he's a very high vibrational kid. I mean, I've never seen him sad, like, never felt him. He's just awesome. I loved it. And he was like, I need you to reach out to my mom. I'm like, what? Like, oh my God, what you want me to tell your mom? He's like, well, I can't really tell you. Like, I need to tell her myself. So I'm like, well, this is crazy. Like, I sound crazy. Like, I don't even know what to say. I sound silly. Okay. He like, just do this for me. I got you. So I'm like, all right, shit, fuck it. Boom, I hit her with the message. Hey, my apologies, but your son really wants to talk to you. I mean, this shit was crazy, but thank God I knew her. So, like, literally 3 minutes later, she fucking messaged me back, like, yes, please. I'm like, oh, so it kind of scared me. So I'm to him like, well, what do you want to talk about? So he's like, just cool. She was like, well, can you give me 30 minutes? And that's fine. And I'm like, cool, no problem. So I was already cooking my dinner for the night. I finished up my dinner and began a meditation session, turned off all my lights like I do, and, get my thing going. So 30 minutes come. And right before it's time for me to connect with her, he started showing me images of his unaliving. So I'm like, oh shit. Like, oh, it was very graphic. Um it kind of took me back, even though he had showed me pictures, images maybe a few weeks before around his birthday, and it just really saddened me. And I'm like, I can't take that. Like, don't show me that. But he kind of walked me through it, and it was like, oh, it was terrible. So fuck it. All right. He like, let's go. So I call her. Boom. So we get on the phone. I, of course, express my deep condolences to her, let her know how amazing her son is, like how beautiful he is, how beautiful his energy is, how much I have all daughters. I wish I had a son like him. If I was to ever had been able to have a son in the physical, man, I would want him to be just like this kid, like so intelligent, so smart, great. So, you know what I mean? I couldn't say enough good things about him. And so she's, of course, kind of choked up a little bit, but, takes the condolences. And I just wanted to let her know how he came to me. So I let her know about the whole work situation and how he was flirting with me, and she was laughing. I'm like, girl, I don't know if he just like, if he does that or if but girl, he's just really flirtatious. But then he calls me G mom. And then he would flip back and forth, but it was kind of a funny thing. So I just expressed a little bit of what was going on and told her that he just wanted to let her know about what happened because his passing was unsolved. And mind you, I didn't know this all the way, but he's telling me this, that it's unsolved. I hadn't looked into the shit or none. I'm like, all right, fuck it. Here you go. Well, unbeknownst to me, this is the first time that I channel the energy. So boom, he steps into me. He steps through. He begins to tell her how much he just regrets some of his friend choices in life, and that if he could, he would change not taking some of his friends back. And he was talking about one in particular friend who he said he had gotten into it before, but they had made up. So he was like, he thinking he's, bros. But he told me right before, he said, Katrina, envy runs deep, like it's deadly. And I'm like, oh shit. So he told his mom that the girlfriend of this friend was crushing on him because he was the man. You know what I mean? Well, he would say things, the girlfriend, excuse me, would say things to the friend like, oh, well, why don't you do what KC does, for his girlfriend or his baby mama? Oh, because he was really a sweet young man. He was a sweet, like I'm telling you, the young men, they outdoing you OGs. Listen, they shitting on y'all. He used to like really cater to his baby mama, give her flowers, like take her out, buy her stuff, just really make her feel like a goddess, like, and I admit I'm from the trenches, but they lived good. He lived good and he took care of his woman. And the other girl would say stuff like that, like, why don't you do this for me, like KC? Why don't you treat me like this? Why don't you be nicer to me? And it got to the point where the friend was like, man, stop bringing this nigga name up. Like, I'm tired of hearing this shit. Like, so there became like this jealousy thing. And so he's telling his mom about the incident and what happened. So he walks her through it. She's like, she knew it. She knew it was a friend. She said, I felt it. She said, but she didn't know if the baby mama had something to do with it. And he came through. He said, never. She would never. Like never. Like, she loved him. So she started crying. She like, I've been cold to this girl. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you did something. You had my son set up. Like, she felt some type of fucking way, as she should. Because she didn't know any of this. But he coming through and he's telling her no. So she begins to run through a list of his friends' names, and she's naming one or two that I think was locked up. And I'm like, this friend is not locked up. I'm like, as a matter of fact, you posted a picture of you crying on your baby's grave site for his birthday, your son's birthday. And this young man saw it and he felt good about it. And her son came through like he was mad about that shit. Like, he wanted to off that nigga. Like, you know what I mean? Don't you ever sit there and get off on my mama crying? Like, so she ran through the names and he's like, that motherfucker. So I'm like, ooh, I don't know why that just came out my mouth. Like, and then she go through some names and we wrap it up. I tell her I hurry up and wrap it up because I'm like, I can't believe what just fucking happened. So we get off and I'm still in my candlelight and he's still talking to me and he's showing me the person. And so I sent her the description of the person and she says the name again. And I said, he said that motherfucker, like with the exclamation point. And she began to wrap it up, just, let him know how much she loved him. Of course, he was right there. He saw, listen, it was such a beautiful connection and experience for him to be able to do that. So after we had that connection that night, the next day, again, me and him, we connected. We locked in. He's like, I want y'all to do something for me. And he gives us a ritual to do. So I give her the ingredients for the ritual. I message her like, hey, KC said we need to do this for until this runs out. And she texts me back like, okay. And so we started it the next night. And the day after that, I was at work. And he came to me and he was like, I'm with the principalities. Like, I made it. And I know, like, I heard somebody say about the dumb shit, like the principalities and the demons and all this other shit. No, the principalities are one of the most beautiful energies that I've encountered from the angelic realm. They coming in right now. So peaceful, like so fucking like godly, very quiet, just very doers actions. And they carry him on to his next portion of his journey. I was talking to him just before I recorded this, and I told him that I really wanted to tell his story. He was like, why you never tell, excuse me, why you never tell my story? And I'm like, damn, KC, it ain't nothing like that. He like, well, you telling everybody else story. Like, you got to tell these people where that shit began. So when I tell you, I know for a fact, what I do and who I am, and just being just grateful for being able to be a channel, for these energies to express themselves and to get their stories out, just like the others, in this planet who do the same. It's just a blessing to me, and I love doing it for him. So I say gratitude to KC for allowing me to speak that. Gratitude to my beautiful, beautiful classmate. She's such a strong, beautiful woman. She definitely is doing her fucking work, and she know I told her, I said, I'm gonna do my work in the spirit, you do your work here. So that shit gonna get handled. This motherfucker know who it is, and now he know what it is, because he know I be on his ass. But yeah, I definitely hope you guys like this video. I show you so much love and gratitude, and I'll talk to you soon. Ashe.